Leftwich, and welcome to my manifestation of tech leadership. And this is what tech leadership looks like in my current workplace. So let me give you a quick summary of what my workplace looks like now. So my school district is a public school district. We have two elementary campuses, one intermediate campus, one junior high, one high school, along with a career and technology education I guess you could say, sub school of the high school. We are a Title I school, so that means we have a large number of low income families. We are also a very high population with English as a second language learners. So this school district has a very wide range of demographics. So with that, I want to take a look at our leadership and vision and what that looks like. So within our COSIN's framework that we saw this week in our reading, there were three subcategories that really changed everything. One of those was leadership and vision. So on my campus, at a district and campus level, we have several different advisory committees. One in particular that I've been a part of this year has been a math framework. So how can we align math curriculum from pre-K all the way to 12th grade high school? Are we preparing students for life after public school? Because right now the data shows in the U.S. that our students are not prepared for college courses or really a lot of different careers that are not college, trade schools, military, that kind of thing. So our advisory committee is looking at that at a district level, and as well as technology. What technology is going to best suit what this committee is advising for our campus. On that next level is strategic planning. So I would definitely say my district uses this across grade levels, not just at the central office level, but also at the campus and even grade level and content level area. And that communication with the technology side is very well done, in my opinion, because we do have to have that constant communication to ensure that the resources that we're buying, which leads into number 3 here, are effective and not only implemented, but implemented and used with a purpose and intentionally. If they're not used intentionally, then why are we using our money and resources for that? And the next that we have is ethics and policies. So a lot of the times we'll see the ethics and policies part in my district at the very beginning of school when we're doing things like compliance trainings. Some are in person, some are virtual and self-paced, and that's the leadership and vision side of it is ensuring that we are adhering to state, local, federal laws and being ethical and having that role model and framework set out for us by our leadership in both technology and at the higher level of administration. But then we also are taking a look at the educational environment. So what does that look like from a technology side? We have to look at the instructional focus and the team building. So that all of this ties into that leadership and vision as well, but specifically the instructional focus in professional development. My district, one thing I really love is that we have these things called power hours. So our technology and our administration have empowered teachers and instructional coaches to be well versed in different topics. It could include technology, could not. But either way, they give us these opportunities for power hour professional development, where in a quick 1 hour session, they're going to give you a how-to of a resource that the district has purchased or already has, and maybe we're not implementing it to the fullest capability, or new features are added. On top of that, ties into content. How can we have high student engagement that is also not a burden on the teachers? And so we're taking pieces like free or purchased technology resources and tying that into the professional development. I myself have hosted several power hour professional developments, and it's been very fun and an interesting step to take to feel that my technology and administration have really empowered me to feel comfortable in that setting to do that. And then we take a look at team building. So we want to make sure that with team building and staffing that we're hiring people that are, one, well equipped for the job, but then also to have that constant communication to feel like we are a team, because throughout the school year there's going to be times that you don't get to see the other grade levels as often, or you don't see administration as often as you probably hope. And technology is a great way to roll that in. Things like doing Google Meets or Skype meetings when we need to, but also ways to have surveys for checking on staff and are we okay, are we not okay, that kind of thing. And that's just a small piece of the team building and staffing, but it's also a very integral part that technology can play with that. And I think this is an area that not just my campus, but all campuses can always improve on, especially with the ever-changing world post-COVID in education and some of the struggles we're seeing. This is one area that we can always tighten up and improve on to help the process of the school year be smooth and supported. So from there, I'm going to transition to the third pillar, the technology and support resources, which again ties into the educational environment, ties to leadership and vision. But on its own, there's two parts that I see every day in my school district that I wanted to make sure to highlight. And the first was data and privacy. So with a school district, obviously, there's student data, there's academic data that we're collecting, there's data from the teacher side as well. That could be educational or personal, how a teacher is doing as well. And the privacy of that is so intricate and important, because if I'm trusting a school district to be my workplace, I'm also trusting them in a sense with my privacy. I'm not allowing parents to be able to access my personal phone number whenever they want to, or my address, things like that. That's very, very secure. And these days, that's a hard part to play a part in, because you never know what's out there, who's out there, and it's comforting to know that my school district takes a priority in this because they want to make sure we're all safe. And then we also have communication systems, and this is another one of those pieces that within COSIN's framework, this essential skill was rated at only, I think, 6%, but I beg to differ, because without communication systems, the rest of the pieces aren't going to be in play. And so this is a foundational key, and we see this with our email systems. Is that infrastructure strong enough? The infrastructure we have, are things functioning for our families and not only staff and administration to be able to communicate? And this is one of those daily pieces that when it is down due to weather or just man-made error, whether it's in our control or outside of our control, we see that things start to fall apart when our communication systems are down. So this is a key role, I believe, that all school districts, not just mine, are always maintaining and working on, that we take for granted until we don't have it. And then I'm going to take a step back now and look at things in brief. So as I look over this and think about our manifestation of technology, how technology has blossomed, but then also how my school district fosters it, one of the only things I would take away and maybe critique from my school district, since we're talking about in my workplace, would be that since I am in such a smaller area, sometimes technology is not always reliable, and not necessarily that the devices aren't reliable, but more like the infrastructure is not always reliable. And that in part is kind of the catch-22 of being in a more rural area, but also an area that we can forever work to improve so that we have the capabilities of someone in not necessarily a inner city school, but to have the same resources as needed when needed to help student engagement. So thank you so much for looking at my 3 pillars within COSIN's essential frameworks for K-12, and I hope this helps. See you soon.